Hey, it's almost winter. Or maybe by the time you're watching this, it is winter. I have no way of knowing. I'm not a psychic. I'm a gear tester. But winter means cold, generally, depending on where you live, of course. And in my extensive research, I found that most people don't like being cold. If you do, well, then, I don't know, go find another video to watch, because this one's for people who prefer not to turn into a human popsicle when spending time outdoors when the temps drop. Specifically, those who would like to spend more time doing some vehicle-based camping, either in their van or the back of their truck or camper, but are reluctant to do so because of how chilly it can get in those spaces on frigid winter nights. I mean, getting a good night's sleep when it's super cold is a difficult task. Ask me how I know. So allow me to offer a remedy in the form of maybe the nicest heated blanket we've had the pleasure of using, the Ignik Topside Heated Blanket. Now, we've tested or reviewed plenty of Ignik gear over the years, including the fire pit, the backside heated seat pad, and yes, we recommend the brand's more eco-friendly hand and foot warmers to everyone we know. So we were excited to see what they'd bring to the table in the heated blanket department. But before we get into it, just a reminder that we have a Patreon. Yep. A cozy digital place where outtakes, special content, and a platform to chat directly with us are all huddled around the proverbial fire in jovial camaraderie. Also, we give away gear we test every single month, so go sign up for a paid membership to get all that and more. It's patreon.com/Terradrift. But back to this blanket. And let's get one thing out of the way right off the bat. This blanket is designed for car camping or other vehicle-based adventures. Between the size and weight of the blanket and the battery required to power it, you are not taking this thing backpacking. And it's not designed for keeping you cozy while romping around the fire at the campground either. Best we can tell after testing, it's mostly just made for sleeping. But we'll get to that in a sec. First, a bit about the Topside and its features. Now, this is supposedly the warmest outdoor heated blanket on the market with a max output of 48 watts. Now, that claim seems true based on our internet searches, but to be fair, there aren't really that many heated blankets designed for outdoor use on the market, at least from reputable brands. But anyway, that output means it can't be used with a pocket-sized portable battery. It needs to be plugged into a 12-volt DC power outlet, like in your car or trailer or overlanding rig, or a hefty backup battery. It won't plug into a wall outlet and does not contain rechargeable batteries, so just so you know. What it does have is a smart controller with built-in safety settings so you can customize your heat and not worry about burning your tent down in the process. As in, you can set the power output anywhere from 10 to 100 in increments of 10, and it will never overheat. There's one big heating element that runs all the way down the center of the blanket, and yes, there's extra heat at the top and bottom to keep your torso and tootsies toasty. Now, what that means is that this blanket is ultimately designed for one, a single person, because if you're draping it over the bed in your van, for instance, if you're not spooning with your camping buddy all night long, neither of you are benefiting all that much from the cozy electric heat. Sure, it radiates outward a bit, but when both Josh and I slept under it, we were fighting over who could be the closest to the middle of the bed in order to enjoy the extra warmth. But if you're a solo camper, whoo buddy, this baby will keep you all kinds of cozy throughout the night. Now, we also tested it while sitting outside around a campfire. We threw it over our laps and turned the heat up to 100. And while it warmed up pretty fast, it didn't feel like it had terribly impressive warming power when it was cold outside. It certainly added a bit of cozy comfort, but not as much as I expected. However, if you do want to use it while sitting outside, pair this mofo with an Ignik backside heated seat pad and you'll feel toasty from both sides. Partly because of the heating element, but mostly because this is just a nice blanket, which is one area where it does stand out among other outdoor blankets in the materials department, as in not only is the fabric and insulation made of 100% post-consumer recycled materials, but the underside of the blanket is super soft because it's made of a cozy micro suede rather than your run-of-the-mill slippery polyester. That means not only does it feel softer and warmer to the touch, also it's nice and thick and plush. but it doesn't slide all over the place and slip off your lap or off your shoulders and off the side of the bed, which is huge. But that micro suede is another reason why the Topside is best for in-vehicle applications. It picks up dirt and mud super easily and doesn't just, wipe off. You have to spot clean it because this baby is not machine washable, which seems like a bit of an oversight on Ignik's part because I got it dirty the very first time I took it out. And ask me how likely I am to spot clean it every time I use it. Go ahead. Ask me. But it does still have a loop and toggle on it, so you could clasp it around your shoulders if you're moving around the campground and don't have it plugged in. And speaking of, it also has a handy zipper pocket right on the front to stash the power cable, which is nice. But let's talk about power and battery life for a second. How long your battery lasts obviously depends on what power setting the blanket is on and how big your battery is. You can use most largish portable backup batteries, but we plugged the Topside into the Goal Zero Yeti 500X. The first night we tested the blanket, the battery was 66% full when we went to bed, and we set the blanket power to 80. It was cold, okay? Now, I have no idea when the battery became depleted, but by the time we woke up 6 or 7 hours later, it was totally dead. So keep that in mind if you do plan to use this for sleeping. It's gonna eat through your power source on higher settings. Lower settings will obviously give you more time. If you're plugging into your car's DC power, keep that in mind too. That said, there is a smart timer function that lets you set when you'd like the blanket to automatically shut off, which is handy if you know your battery is limited and you just need to get cozy enough to fall asleep because, once you do, you'll be fine. Now, technicalities aside, there are 3 colors and patterns available. This one is from the Mountain Collection because if you look real close, you can kind of see mountains. It's very abstract. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's swirly and green. What's not to like? It doesn't come cheap, of course. The Topside is $200, which is a lot compared to your run-of-the-mill electric blanket that costs closer to $60 at, Walmart. But it is comparable to options from other outdoor brands, but it is more sustainable, designed for life on the road and outdoors, and Ignik truly cares about sustainability. So if we still have your attention, then we'll drop a link in the description so you can take a look for yourself. Then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, including plenty about how to stay warm when playing outside in the winter. Follow us on all the socials. We're at Terradrift on, all of them. Then stay cozy out there and wander on.